You set ambitious goals but end up choosing Netflix over progress, even after swearing this time would be different. What if the real problem isn't your lack of willpower, but a neurological trap your brain falls into every single day? In this video, I'll share 6 brain science discoveries that explain why comfort always wins, and how to rewire this pattern permanently. I discovered these principles after years of watching myself sabotage my own success, despite knowing exactly what I needed to do. The problem is, most people think they're lazy or weak-willed, when neuroscience research from Stanford shows your brain is literally wired to prioritize immediate comfort over delayed success. By the end of this video, you'll understand the exact mechanisms that make comfort irresistible, and you'll have a proven system to override them so you can finally follow through on what matters. Let's dive in. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Your brain isn't actually designed to make you successful. It's designed to keep you alive by minimizing surprise and energy expenditure. The prediction error loop is your brain's fundamental operating system that constantly compares what it predicts will happen against what actually happens. When you think about doing something uncomfortable, like going to the gym, your brain predicts discomfort, effort, and pain. Then it compares this prediction to the alternative, staying on the couch, which it predicts will be comfortable, easy, and pleasant. The option with the smallest prediction error, the least difference between expectation and reality, almost always wins. Research from neuroscience shows that your brain uses 20% of your body's energy, despite being only 2% of your weight, so it's evolved to be incredibly efficient at conserving resources. This works through a system called predictive processing, where your brain is constantly trying to minimize surprise and uncertainty. When an action requires effort, your brain tags it as a high prediction error activity because it disrupts your current comfortable state. Studies from the Journal of Neuroscience found that the anterior cingulate cortex, which processes prediction errors, becomes more active when facing uncomfortable choices, literally creating a neurological resistance to change. Your brain treats discomfort as potential danger, even when logically you know it's good for you. First, understand that your brain's predictions are based on past experiences, so you need to create new data by forcing yourself through discomfort just a few times until your brain updates its predictions. Second, use prediction rewriting by vividly visualizing yourself enjoying the uncomfortable activity, spending 2-3 minutes each morning mentally rehearsing the gym feeling great. This literally rewires your prediction engine. Third, shrink the prediction error by making the first step so small your brain can't detect a threat. Instead of, "I'm going to the gym," predict, "I'm just putting on gym clothes." Fourth, track how you actually feel after completing uncomfortable tasks versus staying comfortable, creating evidence that challenges your brain's faulty predictions. The mistake people make is fighting their predictions with willpower alone, which depletes quickly. For instance, instead of forcing yourself to write for an hour, predict you'll just open the document, then let momentum take over once the prediction error is minimal. But that's not all. There's a chemical reason why comfort feels so magnetically attractive in the moment. This next one is crucial because it explains why scrolling social media always feels better than working on your business, even though you know which one actually matters. The dopamine gradient problem refers to how your brain compares the dopamine release rate between different activities. Comfortable, easy activities like social media, junk food, or streaming provide immediate, high-intensity dopamine spikes. Meaningful work like building a business, studying, or exercising provides delayed, moderate dopamine release. Your brain always chooses the steeper dopamine gradient, the faster path to feeling good, which means comfort wins every time in a direct comparison. Research from behavioral neuroscience shows that your brain's reward system evolved in an environment where immediate rewards were rare and valuable, so it developed a hyperbolic discounting bias where it overvalues immediate pleasure and undervalues future rewards. This works because dopamine isn't actually about pleasure, It's about motivation and wanting, and your brain releases more dopamine in anticipation of immediate rewards. Dr. Robert Sapolsky's studies at Stanford found that dopamine neurons fire most intensely for unexpected, immediate rewards, which is exactly what social media and other comfort activities provide through variable reward schedules. When you compare, scroll Instagram now, versus work on business for future success, your brain sees Instagram as a steep, immediate dopamine gradient and work as a shallow, distant one, making the choice neurologically one-sided. First, recognize that you're not weak-willed. You're fighting against millions of years of evolution that prioritize immediate survival over long-term thriving. Second, create artificial dopamine associations with uncomfortable tasks by pairing them with immediate rewards. Play your favorite music only during work sessions. Have your favorite coffee only while studying. This trains your brain to expect immediate dopamine from hard work. Third, remove the dopamine competition by eliminating easy alternatives during focus time. Put your phone in another room, use website blockers. Make comfort activities require more effort than productive ones. Fourth, use dopamine stacking, where you schedule a genuinely enjoyable activity immediately after completing hard work, training your brain that the gradient isn't as steep as it thinks. The common mistake is trying to make work itself intrinsically enjoyable before you start, which rarely works. For instance, instead of waiting to feel motivated to exercise, commit that you'll watch your favorite show only while on the treadmill, creating an immediate dopamine gradient for the hard activity. Now, you might be thinking this sounds manipulative, but here's the thing, your brain is already being manipulated by comfort. You're just learning to redirect it. Most people don't know this, but your brain has a built-in calculator that devalues rewards based on how much effort they require. And this calculator is broken. The effort discounting effect is the phenomenon where your brain automatically reduces the subjective value of a goal based on the effort required to achieve it. When you think about a goal worth pursuing, like writing a book or getting fit, our brain simultaneously calculates the effort cost. Then it literally subtracts that effort from the reward, making the goal feel less valuable than it objectively is. This is why a task that would take 30 minutes can feel impossibly difficult. Your brain has discounted the reward so heavily that it no longer seems worth it. Research from Decision Neuroscience shows that your brain uses a cost-benefit computation in the ventromedial prefrontal cortex, but it systematically overestimates effort costs and underestimates future benefits. This works because your brain experiences the effort cost immediately and viscerally. You can feel the discomfort right now, but the benefit is abstract and distant, just an idea. Studies from the journal Nature found that when people are asked to choose between a larger reward that requires effort and a smaller reward that's easy, they consistently choose the easy option even when the effort to reward ratio heavily favors the hard option. Your brain treats effort like a tax that gets deducted from the reward's value, and this tax rate is irrationally high because your brain prioritizes current state preservation over future gain. First, become aware that your brain is lying to you about effort costs by tracking how long tasks actually take versus how long they felt like they would take. You'll discover most things take far less effort than your brain predicted. Second, use effort reframing. By viewing effort not as a cost, but as the mechanism that creates the reward. Effort isn't subtracted from the goal, it's multiplied with it. Third, reduce the perceived effort by breaking goals into micro steps so small that your brain's effort calculator barely registers them. Instead of write a chapter, make the goal, write one sentence. Fourth, front load the effort visibility by doing the hardest part first when your effort discount rate is lowest, early in the day before decision fatigue sets in. The mistake people make is trying to push through when their brain is heavily discounting, which creates massive psychological resistance. For instance, if your brain is telling you that cleaning your entire house isn't worth the effort, just commit to cleaning one surface. Once you start, the effort discount recalculates, and the rest becomes easier. This brings me to something even more insidious that keeps you trapped in comfort. Here's where it gets fascinating. Your brain doesn't just prefer comfort for energy reasons. It protects comfort because it's protecting your identity. The identity protection mechanism is your brain's system for maintaining a consistent sense of self by resisting behaviors that contradict your current identity. When you try to do something outside your comfort zone, like public speaking when you identify as or exercising when you identify as not athletic, your brain perceives this as an identity threat and generates powerful discomfort to keep you consistent with who you believe you are. Comfort isn't just easier, it's familiar, and familiar equals self. Research from social psychology shows